Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. No, it's not another Stork game. I actually almost did, but I'm like, nah, I promised him I'd switch. There's actually several more really good Stork games, or I mean, Stork against really good players. We don't know if the games are really good. I never know that ahead of time. Anyways, we're going to be going into Soma here, the defending ASL champion in Unreal shape. One of the only players doing pretty well against Flash from the games that I've seen. So really top end even in Zerg vs Terran, although he showed off mostly Zerg vs Protoss in the previous ASL. And he's going up against Mihu here in the top left. He's asking him if he's a streamer, probably because Mihu has very high MMR and he's not entirely sure who it is. I believe that's what he just asked there. And Mihu, I don't think speaks Korean. Mihu is Chinese, the best Chinese Terran player. So yeah, there you have it. He's going to go ahead and wall in. You know, I love checking in on Mihu and the Chinese squad from time to time. I think that I think it's so exciting. I actually love the Chinese events. I love watching some of those. It's a blast. I love that we have a second pro scene that exists. And just checking. He's asking the streamer, who are you? And Mihu's like, no. The thing is, Mihu probably has turn rate 24 here. You know, he lives not that far from Seoul, and it seems like the Chinese pros, for the most part, have good, VPNs or whatever to correct some of that. If it was laggy, then he would just be like, oh, what country are you from, probably. The reason why he's speaking Korean is, again, probably this is turn rate 24, is my guess. Although I have seen Mihu games I know lagged before against Koreans. Okay. All that out of the way. Okay, so a couple more things here. First off, Mihu historically has been, in Terran vs. Protoss, has by far been his best matchup. Terran vs. Terran is second, and Terran vs. Zerg his weakest. His Terran vs. Zerg he has worked on a lot. Like, Mihu is working really hard to improve right now. There's a lot of rich Chinese people that have been sponsoring matches against top pros. And he doesn't have, like, winning records against them and stuff, but he is playing a lot of games against the best players that exist and improving a lot. His Terran vs. Zerg that I've seen recently has been a lot better than some of his older games. So, yeah, take with that what you will. I'm excited to see what it's going to look like here. Oh, he's skipping some SCVs. Huh. Optimized out the quicker refinery here. So my guess is that this will be like a quick factory. If not, we'll see an engineering base start in the next few seconds. That would kind of surprise me, though. I feel like you would not skip any SCVs. Well, I know that you would not skip any SCVs with the with that particular build. But I mean, Mihu might do it. You never know. Mihu actually plays very much his own style. We can talk about that later if he starts to show some of it off. Now, Sunken is coming up. So this little pressure, you know, I casted, I don't know, maybe a week ago, a Flash game where he put on a similar pressure with 2 Marines. This one actually did a bit better. A little bit of lost mine time forces a Sunken, but not hugely better, and it's not a bio follow-up, so it kind of works better for Mihu. Layer going to be finishing here for Soma. Oh, I actually never changed the map name, did I? Sorry about that. Metropolis. I'm like, I don't think I mentioned that, which means I didn't change the map name either. So I'm like, okay, Academy plus Factory. I'm guessing that this is a Valkyrie rush. That's what it looks like most likely. I'm not surprised. Soma has some of the best mutas in the world, so Valkyrie Rush sounds like a pretty decent plan. It's going to be hard to hold them off with bio. But we'll see about that in a second. So, yeah, there's the starport, and we should see an armory started in the next, like, 20 seconds or so. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Soma, in the meantime, Spire coming up. As is natural gas, and yeah, just a hatchery there at home. Has that defensive Sunken already up as well. Not that there's a vulture being made or anything. There's that armory. Academy going to be finishing. eBay has to come up, so he has that missile turret timing. We should see a bunker as well. I think what we'll see is he'll probably lift this up, put it back there. Bunker, turret, 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 something like that. Yeah, I guess, yeah. It's just, this is the flimsy part of the build, is trying to get three to four Valkyries actually out without losing the game. Because if they start sniping the Valkyries right away, it turns very bad very quickly. Sometimes your turret defense will be just slightly off. There will be a weak point where the mutas can go in and start to abuse. And that becomes very bad very quickly. If you start to take any damage against the mutas. Valkyries are actually pretty expensive. 250, 125, so you need to maintain that SCV count. And you can see, right, he's starting his turrets at 31. That's like the low point for turret start when you're looking at SCV count. But don't forget, he cut like a couple SCVs to get this out quicker. So his first Valkyrie is not quite done, but over halfway done as the mutas approach, which isn't bad. Actually takes a while to lift that off. Okay, it's only 5 mutas. He saw the factory, saw the starport, so he knows exactly what's going on. We should see him probably pop out a couple Scourge. And look at that. Very quick Hydralisk Den. Very quick. And there's the Scourge. So the Scourge here are going to be to try to snipe Valkyries. He's just going to try to slow them down, snipe some Valkyries, and he's getting Lurkers really quickly. And that's going to be how he counters the Valkyrie play. Some people like to just try to kill Valkyries over and over. And that you can either look like a god or look like a fool doing that. The approach that Soma is taking is a more realistic approach of like, yeah, maybe I can kill the Valkyries, but if it goes wrong, I don't necessarily lose because he's going to have some Lurkers up. And once you get the Lurkers up and they've gone for Valkyrie, they've either got to choose like, oh, do we go into mech? Do we go into mass dropship play? Because you can't really transition into Vessel Marine Medic. I've said this a lot of times, but it's important to note the follow-ups that are available. Okay, here come the Valkyries. He flies over those missile turrets. He's trying to stay out of range of those Valkyries. That was actually really good for Mihu. That one of them did the slide, the other one did not. Yeah, and then he loses one immediately as soon as I'm praising. Okay, SCV count only at 30, so he's gone down in SCVs since the missile turrets started a couple minutes ago. That's not a good thing. Soma with the hatchery in the top right. Brings up a lot of lings here as well. Oh, geez, those Valkyries are out of position. This is so good. The medics are out of position as well. Oh, man. Mihu has to be frustrated by that. Soma just abusing every single thing going wrong. And, in fact, he can just turn and kill these Valks. Look at that. Look at that. Mastery by Soma. To put this in perspective, guys, Mihu was one game from qualifying for ASL last season, as you might recall from the ASL qualifier videos. Mihu is so good right now. And Soma just made it look like he's a low S ranker with that. Insanely good from Soma. Obviously, Mihu should not have had his Valkyries that far away from his Marine Medic. You got to kind of keep everything clumped a bit more. Okay, so +1 never got started. So this is actually going to be a mech switch. Well, we see +1 started here, but I actually hadn't even noticed that he was not getting +1 for his Marines, which is actually even rare with a mech switch. Like, even with a mech switch, you normally get +1 because you need your Marines to kind of be valuable for a while, but he has skipped that completely. So we're going to watch some Mihu mech. He's definitely better with mech than with bio. Like I said, his best matchup for a long time was TVP. I actually don't know that it is anymore. The TVP meta has changed, and it's actually gone away a little bit from the way that he plays, the more timing attack centric approach, like early on, like 2-base attack. All right, here come the mutas once again. 3 Valks. Yeah, he should probably just run away with these now, keep them as anti-drop or something. The Valkyries will just crush. Looking back here, Hive, Evolution Chamber. He's got some Lurkers up here. Oh! This is a good moment for Mihu. Those Lurkers, if they happen to be on the ramp, it would have shut this down completely. But now he gets at least a couple drones? No, only 1. Oh, wow. Okay. Too bad for Mihu. Would have been nice if he could have gotten 2-3 drones there. Looks like Soma's just trying to be annoying around this third base. Just kind of slow Mihu down a bit. Oh, boy. Knew that was going to be a big spine. And the factory ads should be coming up very soon now. But he does need to get another base up. It looks pretty bad for Mihu right now. I'm not going to lie. It's not necessarily like a game over type scenario. It just, nothing has gone well for him yet. It's not that he's dead or anything. He's got 50 SCVs. That's pretty good. He's getting ready for his third base. Okay. Yeah, he knows there's no fourth yet. Okay, there you go. There's another thing. He's actually got a decent amount of Valkyries. Okay. So there are redeeming things about where Mihu's at in this game. But none of them mean a lot. It's just like, okay, it's still a playable game. There's still fighting chances. You never know. See what you can get done. Now, I do want to notice the composition that Soma's going to be going for, because I believe that he's identified that this is mech. And notice that he's getting, obviously, Adrenal. You want that for Zerglings no matter what you're doing. Here's a +2 carapace. Oh, no, that's just +1. But we haven't seen another Evo, and I want to see if he gets an Ultraless Cavern. Because I've seen Zergs playing with Ultraling against mech a little bit more lately. And I'm really wondering what Soma will do, because he's kind of the strategic leader of Zerg right now. Sulky is not very active at the moment. So a lot of what Zerg is going to do in the future is going to come down to what Soma's showing. He's getting a Defiler Mound, so that goes really well with his Lurkers. The factory count is coming up. It's got good upgrades going. That's nice. 2-1 on the way. Lots of Vultures are coming out, so he should be able to lay a decent amount of mines. Yeah, getting a couple good Irradiates. Soma gets his 4th base started. Mihu with the 3rd base up needs to send some SCVs down there ASAP. It's actually surprising how well Vultures do against Lurkers. It's always better than I thought they would do. Is the way to quantify it. Ooh, good pickoffs on those Scourge. Had to actually target those because there's higher attack priority on the Lings and Lurkers. Okay, plus melee and drops on the way. That's what I want to see in the Ultraless Cavern. Okay, this is what we were waiting for. So I've actually watched this. This has only started occurring in the last 6 months. In fact, I believe it's slightly less than that. But this has only very recently started occurring, where players playing against mech will actually do more Ultraling. You know, there are like a lot of different ways you can kind of approach it, and he is getting a Queen out as well. I actually think the Queen is just specifically for Parasite on vessels for right now. But obviously, later on, he can utilize that to blow up siege tanks with the Broodling upgrade. Yeah, I think Parasite right now is good. Very interesting and exciting, actually, watching, because I think Soma's the most likely guy that's going to develop what the future of anti-mech play looks like, because Flash right now is going heavy mech, and people are following him, what he's doing. It's like a lot of transitions, kind of like what Mihu's doing here into mech. And like Flash is generally just the complete strategic leader when he's active for Terran. Like, his builds are the ones that you see on the ladder. His ideas, for the most part. Light does a decent amount as well, just to put that out there, because he makes the most guides. And he's the most easy to comprehend and copy, which is important. So Mihu has taken a 4th. Very important that he keeps that up. Little push out. Okay, pushing over towards these Lurkers. Don't forget, Defilers are out. Eats an Overlord there. Double Irradiate on the Lurkers is actually really good. Yeah, throws that down. That doesn't really matter too much. Well, I guess if another Lurker comes up, it does. You know, one Lurker under Dark Swarm will never be killed by siege tanks. And Queens are being made. Chitinous Plating, more upgrades for the Lings and Ultras. This is such a weird push from Mihu. Like, I haven't seen Mihu go mech against Zerg very much. He really is mostly just a bio guy. But he might be switching it over because everyone is having a hard time in beating Hive Zerg. So, interesting to watch. Okay, another factory down here. Getting that set up. Lurker coming up. The thing is, this is... what I feel like I'm watching here is Mihu just pushing a little bit too slowly. Like, whether he kills this base or not, we don't know. But spending a lot of time here trying to push up against it, it's like, well, Soma's safe over here. Look at this. He's got 62 drones. He's getting all these different upgrades. Plague, Ultra Speed. His queens are gaining energy. Feels like he needs to do a little bit more. That's what I'm trying to put out there. Overlords. This is like a fake drop. Although he does have the drop upgrade, so it could have been a real drop. Just now getting range for Goliaths, realizing he doesn't have that. Well, Soma is starting to mine off 5 bases now. And here come the spawn broodlings. So this is why you have to keep a little bit more pressure on than something like this. Because as the spawn broodlings start coming, that's just value for Zerg. The first one is like, okay, we're even, and then anything beyond that becomes debilitating for Terran. You need that siege chain count up really high. Let's check the add-on count. Okay, he's gone 4 add-ons. That's really good. That's very smart. Because you have to keep those siege tanks up. I'm surprised there's still any bio on the map. I feel like you should just unhotkey it and just be like, whatever. Don't even think about it. All right, some ultras starting to come out. Lings clearing the mines for them. All right, some irradiates go down. Ooh, vultures on the ultras and tanks on the Lings. Tough. In the meantime, queens coming out for some spawn broodlings. Soma maxed out. You know, Soma is one of the very strongest in the world right now. I think it's easy to say he's the strongest Zerg at the moment. What I'm trying to build up to is this game has not looked very good from Mihu's point of view. Trying to watch Mihu here. But I can't find anything that I feel like Soma did incorrectly. So I just want that as kind of the counterpoint. Because when Zergs play really well, people look bad against them. Look at a lot of Sulky's games in his 4 seasons of winning in a row. And, like, everyone against him looks terrible. Like, it's so oppressive. You never get anything done. Ooh, Ling drop up here. And it definitely has felt that way watching Mihu against Soma here. Really doesn't feel like Mihu's gotten anything done. He has good mining, he has good supply, he has good upgrades. You know, he's got siege tanks and vessels and all this stuff. Got another base set up. I love this defensive structure. It's really strong. But Soma is just like managing the game. Feels like he's in complete control here. So Ling's having a little bit of a time in here. Take out a lot of the defenses. Feels like Mihu's starting to get a little bit more flow of his units and everything now, but I don't know that that will be enough. That's not going to do anything. Okay. Okay. Little D-Matrix here. Okay. Yeah. Well, one thing to note, I guess, is Metropolis is pretty resource light overall. So, like, if Mihu keeps left side and he can deny this base and this base, he actually might be able to win off that. That is a real possibility. The queens are making me very skeptical of it, but, like, if he can deny those over and over and keep Zerg on 5 base, a 5 base mech, if you can reduce the queens, like the amount of spawn broodlings they do, you could win. Well, siege tanks being blown up here by ultras. Okay, maybe he gets this hatch. And this hatch isn't up yet. I could see him killing that. Good amount of vessels coming up. Oh! +1 ship weapons. Okay. Vehicle plating and ship weapons. So the ship weapons... Now, we've talked a lot about the potential ideas people have for anti-Queen. Like, are you going to try to go EMP? You could just try Valkyries to kind of blow them up before they get there. That seems reasonable. Maybe that's what that +1 air weapons is for. We'll have to see. He has the 1 starport. I think this is actually was sent to make another one, maybe? Oh, man, this hatchery very low, but still unable to get it. Look at the amount of broodlings coming down to fight. This is the only unit with less range than an SCV. Actually, infested Terran as well, if you count them blowing up on stuff as range. And the broodlings do damage under Darkstorm, by the way. Actually, I've never seen it, but they're melee units, so. All right, seems like... Okay, Mihu actually does have 5 bases up and running. This is a really great defensive formation. I think the bottom left is basically safe. This is the area that Soma's been hitting into. But yeah, I guess Mihu's supply is a little bit too low. Like, Soma's still got a lot to work with supply-wise. Like, look, he's sending in these overlords. Okay, that didn't work, but he can do that again. Like, he has the money, he has the supply to be able to continually try for moves like this. Great upgrades on Mihu. Again, great defense down here. He's doing a good job of preventing himself from dying. But it feels like eventually a drop's going to get in and deal some significant damage, and it's going to be really hard to come back. Because from here, what we need to see from Mihu, if he's going to win this game, is to get up to max. And start, like, denying broodlings, spawn broodlings. Like, that's kind of what we're looking at here. Where are those drops? Okay, here's the drops. Is he going to radiate overlords? Oh, boy. What? That was kind of a crazy interaction right there. And we had our moment with the broodlings under Darkstorm attacking a tank. Not something you see every day. That looks to me like that's a broken Mihu. Because he's going to lose this base now. His money is too low. His supply is too low. He's not going to be able to hold if there's just non-stop attacks at this point. Look at this. The Ultraling just flooding in at this point. +3 melee almost done. Goliath, obviously no chance whatsoever. Yeah, we should be seeing a GG for Mihu. He's actually notorious for not leaving games until he's, like, really dead. Not quite kill all my buildings dead, but close. As far as top-level players go, he stays in longer than everybody. GG is called. Okay. Yeah, not the greatest showing for Mihu, but again, I think that part of this, at least, is the strength of Soma and maybe Mihu learning mech, because it didn't... Like, what struck me was... the pressure he was putting on here was very weak and very slow. And I think that it would have been better served up here because you don't have to keep regaining vision. So I think that's where I was like, oh, yeah, Mihu's also not playing that well, I think. Guys, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about Broodlings Under Darkstorm. We'll see you next time.